break down the game. Around the league we keep it tight. Diesel on the mic every night.
Mikey Diesel.
Around the league, week in the life. Mental health minute. Unsung heroes. Ask the comics. Between the whistles. Call it how it is. V.V.H.L. No filter on this. Brought to you by KXKShop.com, the exclusive apparel partner of the V.V.H.L. Always use code V.V.H.L.
15 for 15% off. Now your host, co-founder, commissioner, V.V.H.L Cup champion and Hall of Famer. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and welcome your host coming at you hot from a makeshift vocal booth in his closet. Get on your feet and welcome Mikey Diesel!
Yeah, welcome back in. Another Monday, another episode. V.V.H.L Between the Whistles with me, Mikey Diesel, the commissioner, owner, player, sixes, fours. You know the drill. You know who I am. If you don't know who I am, buckle up. We're going to have some fun this week. And this is the podcast that is known as Between the Whistles, a look in my life, a look around the league, a little focus on mental health. We try and get a Mount Rushmore going in. Just a little fun thing we do here, and we're just gonna get right into it with a week with Mikey Diesel.
A week with Mikey Diesel!
Yeah, buddy, and we are back. Okay, so quick follow-up from last week's podcast. It was a banger episode. When we say this thing's unfiltered, it's unfiltered, so if you haven't listened to that one yet, it's raw, it's honest, it's unfiltered. It was a stressful week, and we got through it. This podcast helped us get through it, and the venting is done. We've all moved on. I think everything's all good now. But some of the things that came in the fallout that were pretty funny was the second I finished hitting record on the episode, I came downstairs and my wife goes, "Well, I can't wait for Monday," and I said, "Why? What's going on?" And she goes, "All I heard was you yelling for like 50 straight minutes. So I can only imagine what happened in the league or whatever you haven't vented to me about from work. But I'm very excited to listen to it." So very good of her to to pick up on that. And then I was talking to Sean, and he's like, I started listening to the podcast, and it felt like you were kind of building up to a crescendo, whatever. And he's like, I just wasn't sure if it was a bit. And then I was like, "Trust me, brother, it was no bit." He goes, No, I know. He's like, at first it kind of seemed like it was like a bit because you've been kind of like salty in the chats and stuff. But then he's like, then you got going, man, and I could just like, he's like, my blood pressure started rising. I started getting anxious. Caustic said he started getting anxious. He was getting fired. You can feel it. You could cut it with a knife, or you could, it almost felt tangible. And Dan said by the end of the episode, he was standing up in his, his garage listening. So to anyone that listened to it, man, I'd love to hear some feedback from it. To anyone who hasn't listened to it yet, I feel like it was one of the better episodes. It was a pretty cathartic, therapeutic type episode for everything that was going on, and really gives you a glimpse as to the life of an admin in a hockey league if you're not, ever in that position or anything like that. It was a stressful week, and we got through it. And another follow-up to the podcast, Dan and I did a trial run. He taught me how to do some remote interviews, like via phones or Discord chats and things like that. So we're going to start incorporating those, and I actually think this episode we're going to incorporate it. I'm going to try and get because there's no better name for it. I keep calling it the Founder Rounder, but a quick little round table of the founders. Myself, Dan, and Sean, we're going to hop on a call late tonight after SummerSlam, night 2, and we're just going to kind of chat about like the beginning of the league, what trades were like back then, what they're like now, and in preparation for our big Livewire one-off show for the trade deadline. It's still on a permanent, it's not on a permanent hiatus, it's still on a temporary hiatus while Sean's working on some bells and whistles, and we really weren't going to do a show, and that's why I'm kind of doing a little bit of standings and stuff like that here. But for the trade deadline, for Livewire, for the league, for the community, that's like a must-watch show. Like, some of my favorite shows are the draft lottery, the draft, and the trade deadline. And much like the Major League Baseball trade deadline, action gets crazy. Tarek Skubal just went to the Dodgers, which is insane for anyone that doesn't watch baseball. Tarek Skubal's like one of the best impending free agent pitchers. He played for the Tigers, and the Dodgers basically just buy up all the talent like their Space Jam with the Monstars. And yeah, they just got one of the best pitchers in the game right now, left-handed pitcher, and that team's just gross. But that's whatever. But anyways, yeah, that'll come later in the episode. We're gonna have a little three-way chat, a little founder rounder, see how things go, and hopefully we're gonna incorporate it in this pod, and you guys get like a little bit of a new wrinkle here. It's not gonna take away from what Jesse's doing. It's not gonna take away from Livewire. Just a little temporary thing, maybe just a quick little how do you do, and yeah, that's what that's gonna be. And speaking of another follow-up from the podcast last week, my buddy Mike Smith. For anyone who's no stranger to the podcast, he is my friend that I play baseball with. He's the guy that took a baseball in the eye. It was all fucked up. He was the guy that came with a singular beer the week after, which we talked about on here, and I actually sent the audio clips over to my team on the Night League to bust his chops, bust my chops, because I'm a big fan of busting my own chops if I'm gonna bust someone else's chops, just to prove that it's not like an intentional thing. But out of the blue, he texts me and he's like, "Hey man, I'll bring beers next week." And I was like, "Oh, you don't have to, man. Why would you say that?" He's like, "I don't know, because I listened to your podcast and you shit all over me for like 4 minutes about bringing a singular beer. So don't worry, dude. I got beers next week." And I was like, "Oh shit, I forgot you listen to the podcast, man." I was like, "But yeah, of course." Like, I'm like, it's all in good fun, dude. I'm just busting chops. Like, it's just a funny situation. It felt story worthy. That was all. But yeah, so what a great dude, man. Him and I talk all the time, and we both just played our second to last regular season Sunday baseball game today. And leading up to that, I took hitting lessons with a professional baseball coach. A bunch of us kind of pooled together money and met up at a field, and he was there. And he's like, "Everything you're doing's pretty good." He's like, "The only thing you have to do is be a little more disciplined at the plate, look for a certain pitch, don't rush into anything, but also try this with your foot." And since I tried this little like tweak with my foot, in my last 3 games, I believe I'm like 6 for 9 with like 3 RBIs, 2 runs scored. I'm driving the ball to the fence again. I'm showing the power that I have again. So it's so cool that like you can talk to a guy that was like a touted prospect. He just knows the game. He knows the intricacies of it. He saw the one thing with me, and this guy's turned my season around. Like, I was hitting like under 100. Now I'm like creeping up to like 200, which isn't great still, but it's better than a 0.88 batting average. So that guy's the man. I couldn't be more thankful for it. I hope to do it again, but it's been working for me. And last Sunday, because this was recorded on a Saturday, we played the next day. It was my starting pitcher's birthday, so I let him throw the game. He pitched. He had a double, triple, and a home run. He was a single shy of getting a cycle. He pitched 9 innings, struck out 18. He was an absolute beast. It was so much fun to watch and be a part of. We needed a game where he gutted one out, and he did more than that, so that was pretty cool. Today we got dusted, 18-8. We got mercied. That was not fun. That was not fun to be at. And again, man, the 3 Spanish guys, these dudes, oh my God. I text them in the middle of the week. "Hey boys, got a game Sunday. You gonna be there?" Crickets. 2 days later, nothing. Again, send another text, nothing. Saturday morning, send another text, nothing. So I go to my team's Discord page. I'm like, these fucking guys, man, I don't get it. How are we over 30 years old? Some of them are over 50 years old. We can't answer me. And one of the guys texted me on the side. He's like, hey, man, give me their numbers if you don't mind. I'm like, whatever, man. Good luck with that. Give him the number. He sends me screenshots of him like with like a paragraph in Spanish. And instantly they respond, yeah, I'm in Sunday. Tell Mike I'm in. Tell him my father's in. Can't wait to be there. Blah, blah, blah. The other guy's like, yeah, I'm playing. I'm like, what is this? Dude, I will learn Spanish over the course of the winter if that's all it took. Or whatever. I'll use Google Translate because I don't have time to learn stuff right now. I'm too busy trying to learn Chell. But I'm like, that's all it took. You just had to hit Google Translate into Spanish and that gets a response. Guy calls me on the phone too. He's like, hey man, sorry. Yeah, no, I'm totally going to be there. He's like, I'm always going to be there. I'm like, bro. I don't know. It just gives me an ice cream headache, like, to no end, and I'm just rubbing my temples at all times. But, you know, that's the life of a manager in baseball. On to the work situation. Guess what? We have another protest coming up. It's this coming Thursday. They want us all to be there. I'm not going to be there. For starters, I don't want to be there, but I'm also going to a concert with my lady, with Mrs. Diesel. We're going to see Nonpoint. We're going to see Head PE. Don't even talk about Soil. They're going to be there. And if you didn't think that Spineshank was going to round out that bill, then you thought wrong, homie. It's a new metal superfest. It's 2000 and 2001 all over again. And we're going to be rocking out at Wally's Cafe, Hampton Beach, New Hampshire, Thursday night. I'm taking Friday off because fuck it, why not? Let's go out and have some fun. It's close enough to my birthday, so we'll treat that like it's my birthday. Then yesterday, man, I got my buddy Jay over. We're working on my shed/chicken coop. We're busting our balls, man. It's hot as shit. We're hanging rafters in this thing. It's 24 by 10. It's 240 square feet of amazingness. When this thing's done, my yard equipment's going in one half of it, and we're just loading that fucker up on the other side with birds, ducks. My wife wants wood ducks, Mandarin wood ducks, so we're gonna get those. We're gonna pop a couple turkeys in there. We're gonna get some more ducks. We're gonna build a pool that has its own fountain in it and its own drainage system, which I'm gonna use to irrigate my garden, because duck poop and water is killer for gardens, so we're gonna be doing that. But yeah, man, just sweating our dicks off and stuff. And he's like, hey, man, I got to look at a side job after this. It's going to involve electrical. Do you want to come with me? And I was like, oh, hell yeah, man. He's like, yeah, it's right on my parents' private beach. Let's just go. It'll be quick. I'm like, yeah, dude, taking my daughter to the movies to go meet up with this kid. So I only have about an hour. He's like, no problem. We get to this place. He's like, all right, hop in. I'm like, hop in what? He's like, this boat. I'm like, dude, I'm not hopping. I was like, what's the job? He's like, oh, there's no job. He's like, I just want to take you around the lake real quick, have a Corona. I'm like, I mean, we're here. Yeah, all right, fuck it, man. Let's ride. Dude, takes me around this lake. It's gorgeous, man. Right in New Hampshire. We're going around and looking at all these houses. He's like, that's $4 million. That's $2 million. That's $3 million. Every like he showed me a house that Roger Clemens lost a bid out on to like a Patriots player that was up there. And then it's just like, someone bought like two houses and then like paid a contractor to connect them in like two different spots so they could have like walkways between the houses. Like, guy owns a dealership. He's got an infinity pool there. Oh, fun fact. While we were out there on the ocean, while we were out there on the lake, dude, you'll never guess who popped by in a solid gold jet ski. None other than the 1K man himself. The only K that he worries about is his points in the V.V.H.L. Everything else is counted in billions and billions. Mr. O.I. Caustic, dude. Shredding the gnar, shredding Mother Nature. He's out on the jet skis. He's like, dude, I didn't even know you lived up this way. He's like, I just took the private chopper, man. I'm here to hit the lake for a little bit. And I was like, no shit. You know everyone hates these jokes where I keep saying you're rich, but I'm going to keep doing them. And that's what I did. But yeah, so I came home from going around the lake on the boat. It was awesome. Had to take my daughter to the movie theaters because she was meeting a boy named Michael. So obviously he's going to be trouble because his name's Michael. And it's just weird, man. She's gone through so many stages, and like this is like part of the parenthood thing that's like such a mind fuck, man. Like it feels like just the other day we were at the hospital with her. Like I remember that day. I remember taking pictures in the hospital with her. Then when she hit like 10, 11 years old, she started having like a bunch of mental health issues and like behavioral issues, and we were trying to figure those things out. Where she's our firstborn, we just kind of never really noticed any differences, which helped us with our other kids earlier. But, you know, to go through those processes and then in and out of like mental wards and hospitals and stuff because she was kind of unsafe to herself and unsafe to us, to now like coming out of that and she's working and taking CPR courses so she can babysit, and she's like a camp counselor, and now she's I don't even want to say it, potentially going out on dates. Like it's, I don't know, that's not fun. I don't know, I really don't know where to go with that. It's just, it's such a mind fuck, and I'll probably keep working through that here. But aside from that, like another thing that's cool with her though is like, now that she's in her teenage years and she's kind of out of the woods with those issues that we were having and things like that, she's out of her room more. She's hanging out on the couch more. She's playing more with her little brother and sister that, you know, there's a 6-year age gap and a 12-year age gap between them, but she's out in the pool with them. We'll sit and watch game shows together on the couch. So like really trying to treasure like those type of things too, which is like really cool. I keep trying to take these kids outside and like go to restaurants or like go to like the amusement park, because like all that stuff's fun, and I can't get these kids to leave the house. My oldest will go. My middle child is like scared of her shadow. It's really sad. And then my 3's turning 4-year-old, he like refuses to wear clothes as soon as he's in the house. He'll put on shorts, shirts, shoes, everything, go outside, go have fun and stuff. The second that front door closes, man, it's straight down to the diaper, and we're just doing flips and somersaults on the couch. So yeah, I don't know, man. It's always just tough to get them out of the house, but we're still working on it. We still got some time in summer left, so we're gonna keep trying to do that. But again, speaking of being on the couch together and everything, you know, we watched SummerSlam as a family. Everyone was down there. It was amazing. We watched, you know, the entirety of the show together. My wife had to run out to the store to get something right down the street. She took my oldest with her. So it was myself, my middle child, and my son. My middle child is probably the most, like, obvious with the autism. So she gets, like, real skittish, and she's, like, you know, she was, like, doing, like, the flappy hands, like, watching the matches and stuff. She was, like, really getting into it, which was, like, so incredibly cute. Like, just seeing her get like over exaggerated, like excited about everything, and she's like yelling at the TV, and she's just so into it, and like it was pretty sweet to see. Like I thought that was pretty cool, and I'm like, hey, do you want to go see like a local wrestling match? Like Daddy's got some friends that are wrestlers, like we can go see them, we can even meet them and talk to them. No, it's violence, I'm not doing it. This match is in another country, so that's the only reason it's okay. I'm like, all right. I'm like, we don't have to do it. I was just offering it. It's all good. But when my wife ran to the store, she must have not told my daughter or something. I didn't think it was a big deal. We're sitting on the couch with each other. We're talking. She's excited. She's into the match. Then just all of a sudden, she goes, can I borrow your phone and can I call mommy? And I was like, yeah, sure. Is everything okay? And I just turned my head and looked at her, and she just absolutely broke down, uncontrollably sobbing, just like openly weeping, and just like inconsolable. And I'm like, Shaylee, what's going on? You all right? And she's like, I miss mommy. I need mom. And like just in complete hysterics. And we had to call my wife, and she had to keep her on speakerphone the whole entire ride home and everything. And Man, what a struggle that is, because, my wife and I would love to get out every now and again and just go out to dinner maybe once a week, try and do a date night thing. We really only get to go to concerts and maybe do like 3 date nights a year. Other than that, we're stuck in these 4 walls with these kids, and it's just like, I don't know, punch in, punch out, like run through the daily motions, chicken nuggets, french fries, chocolate milk, sausages, waffles in the morning, and it's just like a rinse and repeat thing, and it can get repetitive, redundant. God bless my wife for putting up with it, for being able to handle that, because I can't. Like, I come home and I'm like, I can't, this is stagnant, I can't, oh, it's brutal. But anyways, my wife talked her through it. She came home, everything was all good. We're watching SummerSlam, man, and then, of course, the kids had to go to bed before the Obafemi and Brock Lesnar match. My daughter was bumming. We watched the match today, Sunday, in the morning, so that was all good. But one observation that I noticed about SummerSlam was I feel like they blew the finish to Obafemi and Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar looking like he's going to give an F5 to Obafemi on the exposed boards in the ring. He ripped up the apron, he ripped up the canvas, he ripped up the pads, he exposed the 2x6 boards, and it looked like he was going to give him an F5, turns around, pops him with a tombstone pile driver. Obafemi kicks out, hits him with the fall from grace, and now here's the important thing, and I want everyone to go back and watch this that's a wrestling fan. When he hits the fall from grace, if you look at Brock Lesnar, he rolls his head back a little bit, looks to where the boards are, and then just goes, oh, and his eyes close and he takes the pin. I'm like, they blew that finish. That was supposed to be a fall from grace on the wood. That was supposed to signify the big stamp, like Lesnar just passed the torch. It took a fall from grace on the exposed boards. I think they messed it up, but it is what it is, man. I'll swear that that's what was supposed to happen. And then after that, I played a couple games. I was with the what I like to call the WCA crew. It was Snickers. It was Scythen. Bosa it was a 6-on-6 12s draft lobby. It was fucking wild. We were having a lot of fun. We were having a lot of laughs and everything. And I didn't notice my wife sneak outside for a little THC relaxation methods. And I went to go get another beer, and I walked over to the door. I was like, what's the fucking door unlocked for? Shut the light off, locked the door, and I turned around and walked, and I hear, and I was like, what the fuck was that? And then all of a sudden I hear, I put the outside light on and I had the biggest jump scare. My wife was like sitting there like looking right at me through the window in the door, and I like had the biggest panic attack. I was like, oh my fucking god, I thought I had a heart attack. So that was pretty funny. I told all the guys in the chat about that. She didn't think it was as funny as I did. I almost pooped my pants when I saw her like staring back at me when I turned the light on, because I didn't know what was happening, because I was a couple IPAs deep. And yeah, that was that night. And I'm gonna kind of end this segment on a little bit of a solemn note. I don't know if you can tell, I sound a little down while I'm recording this. So Friday, I had to leave work early. I had to take my dogs to the vet. It was just regular exams, like rabies booster shots, Lyme lepto, like all that fun stuff. And you know, it's never fun going to the vet. I always have this like air of uncertainty when I go to the vet. It's really tough. And I don't know why. Like, I just have this weird hang up that like something bad's gonna happen. But yeah, I mean, it's just $1,200 later. We were out of there, but you know, the unfortunate part was that you know, you never expect to go to the vet with both your dogs, and not only pay like that kind of money, but to only come home with one of them is I don't know, to forget your second dog when you're at the vet and realizing it when you get home and you got to turn around and go get her. Oh man, I hope I took you guys for a ride on that one. And we're gonna end the week with Mikey Diesel on that, and we're gonna go right around the league.
Look around the league. Look around the league. Look around the league.
That was mean. Okay, that was mean. I feel bad about that. I hope everyone felt bad while I was telling that story, and then I hope I lifted your spirits by letting you know it was just a joke. Both dogs still alive. Both dogs healthy as shit. The Diesel family stays strong as always. And whatever, man. Let's go start looking at some stats here, and we'll get through this before we hit our storylines that are around the league. But we're going to start with the standings. We're going to start with divisions. It's the Crunch division. Look at this team, the Dover Demons, back in first place. They take over the Soul Reapers, 26, 3-1, 77 points. Soul Reapers are a cool 10 points behind them now, so that's a big shift. 22, 5-3 for them, 67 points. South Beach Snipers are moving up in the standings. They go from 5th to 3rd, 20-10 for 60 points. Mikey's holding a burp here. Excuse me. Barn Cats behind them, 19-10-1 for 58 points. Royal Ghost still kind of in the middle here. I don't know. 19-11 for 55 points. Gridlight Cycles, another team that I expected a little bit higher here, 17-10-3. They're 52 points. Okay, now here comes the big drop off. 23 points behind them. You got the 10-20 Coffin Floppers. Behind them, 1 point behind, holding on to that last playoff spot. V.V.H.L Hydra, 9-18-3. The Revolution behind them, 7-19-4 for 25 points. Expecting them to be active during the trade deadline. I can't see them not being active with their thing. But anyways, Portage Money Shots right behind them. Last place, 7-22-1. Still a lot of room to go. Between the 7 seed and the 10 seed in the Crunch division, you have a 9-point differential. That's literally one night of hockey. So there is no one out of this race at all as we head towards the trade deadline this coming Friday. And we're going to look over in the Surge division. No changes at the top here. V.V.H.L Cherry Cartel led by Day Day, 27-3 for 60 points. Angry Birds behind them, still in second place, 18-11-1 for 55 points. They're tied with the Big Dogs for the same exact record, also 55 points, obviously, because of course, if they're tied for the same record, of course they'll have the same amount of points. 1 point behind them at 18-11, and 1 is the Evil Leprechauns. Little bit of separation here, fresh off his suspension. Huntsy hit the trade block channel immediately upon reinstatement. 16-13-1, 49 points. Big ups to Yeeds for sticking around, helping out as the GM in the interim while Huntsy was on the bad boy list. He shifts back to being a player on the team. Good on him for doing his part. Sicilian Slicers, 6th place, 15-13-2 for 45 points. The V.V.H.L Knights, they're going to have a new look this week, 14-15-1 for 38 points. Silver Foxes, holding on to that 8th spot, 10-18-2. They too made some really big moves this week. Oh, we should talk about those in our Around the League segment. I am going to talk about those now that I'm thinking about it. V.V.H.L Raptors, they're in 9th place, 8-22-0 for 24 points. Iron Waltz doing Iron Waltz things. Father Son, they're kicking ass, 7-22-1, 21 points. Once again, only 7 points between that 8 seed and the 10 seed. So anything can happen. Anything can happen. Why don't we take a quick peek over at the skater leaderboard for the Fours division? I'll take a look at some goals. Who doesn't like goals? Off the Yerk, Big K, 98 goals. This dude is about to hit 100 goals. Are you shitting me? That's crazy. He's right behind him is Rooster with 86. He's a guy that's capable of getting 12 goals in one singular night. So I wouldn't be surprised if he overtakes Big K this week. Crazy Kraut, no stranger to the stats list. 73 goals for him, and top 3 is good enough for me. Let's see what we got for the assists over here, ladies and gentlemen. 105 assists for Day Day. That's disgusting. Followed by a mere 27 behind him is not Luigi. QC, he's Mario. He's got 78 assists. He's backed up by Thought King, 72. How about them big dogs? They're doing some stuff. I don't know. Let's see who has the most points in the league. Looks like off the Yerk, aka Big K, 136 points, followed by Rooster, 129. And creeping up on him with 123 would be Mr. Mewtwo. Why don't we see who's got a good plus minus? And why is it not me? Oh, because it's Day Day with 101, Rootster's plus 91, Rokar behind him, plus 66. You guys are gross. I hate how good you are at the game. I'm sure everyone else hates how good you are at the game. But, I don't know, let's take a look at some hits. I like hits. Do you like hits? We're gonna look at them. Mayers has 334. Are you fucking kidding me, dude? Holy shit. All right. Let's contain ourselves, Diesel. You're not wearing pants, so this thing's just gonna fly right out of your gym shorts. 334 hits for Mayers. 207 for Showstopper. Ooh, newcomer Gully, 165. You know what he said? I actually messaged him. I was like, Gully, you're pretty high on that hits list. You have 3 more than White Castle. How do you feel about that? He said, what's a White Castle and why do I not give a shit about him anyways? And I was like, whoa, this is a non-toxic league, dude, but I'm going to have to allow it because, hey, game recognized game. Looking at the interceptions, we got Eat a Snickers. He's got 51. Ooh, Vereznik, a.k.a. Zion. He's got 39. Nash, 61. Newcomer to the Coffin Floppers. We'll talk about that in a little bit. 37 INTs. I'm really looking forward to seeing what that looks like. Let's take a quick peek at takeaways, and then we'll move on to the goalies. 112 for Mayers, of course. Right behind him, Stefano. Now, fun fact about Stefano. All these lists that I've read, he's been like 2 or 3 names behind. Like, he's like top 5 in almost everything. It's disgusting. 108 for him. Followed very closely behind him is A-Day 92 for 105. So we're going to take a quick look at some goalie stuff. Let's see who's got some of the best records out there. And it looks like, oh my God, 14-3-1 for Scythen. Yo-Yo behind him at 13-1-1. Shamans, hell yeah, 12-4-1. So, I mean, if we're looking at a Vezina candidate, it's going to start with the record. I mean, that's always a big one. Then we look at our goals allowed average. We don't want to do that one. We want to do it the other way. Yes, a 2-goal a game average for Cosmic TV, who started out 3-0 this week, coming off the waiver wire. Followed by Yo-Yo Hockey with a 3.13. Mowski behind him, 3.33. Also played 3 games. And I'm going to give a little love to Juicy Smoke. He's 10-3-1 with a 3.50. So he's played a little more games than these other boys that have played 3. He's got 14, so we'll give him a little bit of love there. Save percentage looking like we got Easy Dunk with a 0.82 save percentage. Right behind him with an 810 save percentage is Yo-Yo Hockey. And an even 800 for Mowski. You boys are disgusting. I wonder if anyone's got shoutouts. Get your shoutouts here. We got 2. They go to Vinnergansen. They go to Yo-Yo Hockey. Followed by Intrepid, Last Dying Breed, Big Truck, Rose Petal Killer, Juicy Smoke, ISO, Easy Dunk, Papa Palpatine, Joe D, Grims, and It's Me Aquino. Every one of those people have at least 1 shout out, with the exception of Vin and Yo-Yo. They have 2, and I think that's good for the stats. Let's take a look at some standings over in the V.V.H.L. Alrighty, yeah, the Kings staying at the top. They're 8-1, 16 points. Followed by the Venom, 5-3-1 for 11 points. Also, the V.V.H.L. Zamboni Zombies are 5-3-1 for 11 points. The Raptors are 5-4 for 10 points, tied with the Glacier Wolves, 10 points, same record. 6th place is the Coffin Floppers, 4-4-1 for 9 points. Breakfast Club gets themselves out of the basement at 4-5 for 8 points. Stallions are 4-5 for 8 points. Sicilian Dragon stumbling a little bit, 3 and 6, they got 6 points. Egg Farmers stumbling a lot, which is pretty wild to me. I know they just lost Zaner due to some personal commitments and issues this summer. They got a good one off the wait list. I'm pretty sure they got Nash off the wheel spin, so they're gonna be quite all right. I see them coming out of the basement soon. This thing's gonna be flipped over all the time. Everyone's in this thing. It's awesome. But real quick, look at the points. Biggie Otis leading the charge, 32 points. Rokar behind him at 30 points. ISO behind him, 29 points. That's really good. Most goals for sixes here, we got Rokar with 19, Biggie Otis with 16, Rootster with 14. He's tied with Hoagie for the third spot at 14. Obviously, as far as the assists go, we're looking at Biggie Otis, ISO, Rifle Drum, 16, 16, and 15 respectively. It's a who's who on that list. Really good for them. As far as plus minus goes, sixes, that's a big one. Bulky Microbe, Biggie Otis, and South LA Gaming are all at 21 in the positive. Good stuff. Let's see what the goalies are doing here. We're looking at records. I see Coronado. Sixes is his game, boys. 7-0 on the season. Unbelievable. We got Doughboy Racing, 4-3. Killshot, aka Rain, he's 4-0. Really good stuff, boys. Save percentages are looking like 870 for Vinneganson, 860 for Rain, 850 for B-Max. So they're out there doing their stuff. That's really cool. That's about it for the standings and the stats. And now let's get into some of the storylines of around the league. Wednesday morning, as I said, Zaner had to disappear from the Egg Farmers, had to step away from his Fours obligations as well. He's got some family stuff going on. No problem, dude. Wish you the best. Can't wait to see you back when NHL 27 comes out. But in that, I end up looking at Discord and I see that Gweeds happened to get assigned to the Egg Farmers. And I'm like, that can't be right. We've been over this like a whole bunch of times. Like, the way we do it is you find like a tier of guys that are like caliber of the thing. Like we just went over, like we just came up with this past off season. Like if we lose like a skilled player, instead of just leaving it to the luck of the wheel, we're trying to match comparable stats off like, you know, league sites and things like that. So we can kind of get like an idea and get like a tiered area of replacements, and then we're supposed to spin a wheel. So I wake up to the news, I see Gweeds is assigned to the Egg Farmers. I'm like, this can't be right. This can't be right. And so we're supposed to spin a wheel. There are no ECU free agents, so they can't just pick who it was. And so of course, like, I handled it so wrong. I know I handled it wrong. It took a little bit to apologize, but I did. I was like, oh shit, man. Like, Dan, I'm sorry, dude. Like, I was like, Dan, we can't do this. Like, this is bad. Like, this is like world class bad. Like, Gweeds is like insanely good, and you can't just hand them to them. There's no way. And he's like, I'm just doing my best. I'm like, I know. I'm like, but like, dude, I'm telling you, like, this is like a criminal mistake if we let this happen. We can't. I'm like, not even because of the player. I'm like, but there was no wheel spin. We didn't follow our protocols. Like, all this stuff. And then like, and dude, like, I'd do the same thing. Like, Dan disappeared from Discord for like hours on end. And I'm like, yeah, I turned up the heat a little too much. Caustic turned the heat up a little bit too much. But the only reason we did that is because we were like worried about the integrity of the division, worried about the integrity of the league. I'm like, the problem is not the player being assigned. It's the method of how. If you want to spin a wheel with every single person that put up an ECU thing and Gweeds was the guy, that's fine. But we just didn't do that. And that's what led to me being like kind of so tilted about it. And unfortunately, I took the wrong approach because I came in like a ball of fire in the admin chat, and it probably didn't help that Caustic was like backing me up and just throwing hundreds at everyone and just like whatever. But we, so ultimately, like, Dan's like, I even messaged Aquino because he's on that Egg Farmers team. I'm like, dude, you know that's not going to happen, right? He's like, Michael, I will go to the chats and I will burn this league to the ground. I'm like, dude, I'm telling you, it can't happen. It's just the protocols. And then, like, I messaged Rifle Drum. I'm like, hey, Rifle, dude, this can't happen. I'm sorry. It's just like, it's like every protocol was broken here. And Rifle's like, well, Dan messaged me and said that he's too good to play for me. I'm like, well, if that's what he said, that's not what he was like. That's not what the problem is. I'm like, I'm like, then what are we doing? Then we're throwing Day out. We're throwing Crowd out. We're throwing me out. Yeah, right. No, but like, I'm like, that's not it. You spin a wheel and that name comes up. No problem, dude. Zero problem. I'm like, the fact is he wasn't drafted, so he wasn't draft eligible, so you can't just hand select him off a short list. I'm like, that's crazy. And he's like, oh no, I get that. And like, dude, big thank you to Rifle Drum. He could have absolutely went the other way with it. He was insanely professional. He was bummed out, obviously, but he totally understood. And then when I explained to him like the tiered thing and told him who like the people would be on that list, he's like, okay, that's fair. Those feel like fair comps for Zaner. And Gweeds was one of those people. Like, we put him on the wheel. So, fast forward, I'm pretty sure it's Nash that gets assigned to him. It's great. All is well and good. Dan's still mad. He's off in Dan land doing his thing. He's not happy. I feel bad just for winding him up. Sean comes into the admin chat and goes, oh shit, hey guys, I had a message request and I never saw it. And he just sends us a screenshot. It's from Gweeds. He goes, hey man, I think I saw an alert that I got assigned to a team in 6s. He goes, I just want to be perfectly clear. I'm only here to play 4s. Dude. Oh, I was like, you've got to be shitting me. We could have like avoided a whole mess of headaches, a whole mess of apologies that happened the next morning. Like, we could have avoided all that stuff if you just noticed you had a message request. And Sean's like, yeah, that's my bad. That's my bad. So we ended up getting pressed over nothing. All of us got all wound up. Can you believe it? The admins got all wound up over nothing. It's a common occurrence. But yeah, so the week finished. The week started for us at 2-1. And to continue with the Wednesday thread here, we went 0-3 Wednesday night. The games weren't the best. It was clunky. I played like pure dog shit. I really feel like I was the catalyst and the reason for why we lost. It is what it is. And I got hit with the DM from Scuba the second the game's over. He's like, hey man, I need a trade. This just isn't working out. And my response to him were 2 words. Yoki doke. That's literally how I wrote it. Yoki doke, man. No problem. Like, that's all I was saying. I was just saying yoki doke. I went to the trade block. I said, hey, Scuba wants out. Hit me with your offers. I'd like to do this tonight. Just to ease his mind, whatever. So while I'm doing that, I get a message from him. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, whatever, man, no big deal. Like, let's see what this message says. So then I'm looking. I'm like, okay, he's upset because then he goes, yeah, I want to be traded. It's been too much. I go, yoki doke. He goes, so then that should have been the end of it. As far as I'm concerned, that's the end. Yeah, I'll trade you. No problem. Like, that's all I was saying. Dude, nobody has chem. So-and-so never plays. This guy had to carry us. Trade me to a contender. I'm like, what? I can try. I go, there are no guarantees that I can trade anyone to a contender. And I'm like, but demands don't go that way. And then you shouldn't have traded so-and-so for a guy that never plays, blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, well, the guy that I traded that you were so worried about being traded got traded 3 more times since then. So you're gonna go message those guys and tell them they shouldn't have traded that guy either? Like, who the fuck are you? Dude, if you wanna worry about who should be traded and who shouldn't be traded, apply to own. apply to Omen, you can go a season without getting suspended. Like, that's all. And I don't mean that as like a dick move, but like, you're coming off a suspension. You're pretty hot in my DMs about this shit. So I'm like, whatever, man. And he's like, yeah, you shouldn't have traded so-and-so for a guy that never plays, blah, blah. I go, okay, thanks for the feedback. And then he hits me with the cucumber emoji. I'm like, okay. I was like, real cute, dude. Here I am honoring your trade request, and we're just going to be a dick for no fucking reason? I just don't understand it. And then he comes back with thank you for your feedback. And oh boy, that's the one. Oh, you're going to be cunty and say the same words back to me, dude? You're going to send me right in a fucking orbit, man. I'm going to be chill this week because I really lost my shit last week, and I'm really not gonna. But boy, when I write thank you for your feedback, you hit me with the guy that pulled one over our eyes emoji. Gotcha, no problem. Then I'm like, you're just being a dick for no reason, dude. I really don't get it. And then he goes, thank you for your feedback. Yep. Now we're gonna have words. And my next words were, say one more word and I'll heave you out of the fucking league, dude. I fucking dare you. And smart on him, dude. Didn't say any other words. Came back the next day, apologized in the middle of the afternoon. I let him know how shitty it was. Followed with another apology. Said I hope it's water under the bridge, and we just left that on red because I have no patience for that shit. Hell of a player, man. The vibes are there all the way. I don't know. Those just felt like low blows, and I just don't deal well with low blows. So that's how that got left off. You're not going to hit me with a low blow and apologize the next day. I take longer to get over that shit, and that's one of those mental health type things, but it is what it is. I hope you enjoy your time on the Kings. They're in a playoff spot. I think you have the potential to really help them out. And, best of luck over there. So after that, the next thing that happened in my DMs was Crave Dog sent me a DM that said, hey, Mikey. And I was already just not in the mood. I had just finished the bullshit with Scuba. I had just completed a trade for Scuba, stripped his roles, tossed him out of the server. We were done with it, whatever. And then I see my DMs at 12:30 in the morning from Crave Dog. Hey, Mikey. I go, I can trade you if you want, dude. So then he never answers me for a day and a half. And we make the trade of Scuba for J-Man Fish, who we're very excited to have and see how he does this week. And Crave Dog writes in the server, oh, hell yeah, we just got J-Man. We're about to cook, boys. Let's effing go. And I'm like, bro, I figured you wanted a trade. And I was like, I might have just traded you. He's like, oh man, awkward. I'm like, was that not why you were messaging me, hey Mikey, the other night? And it's been 3 days, he hasn't answered, so I'm guessing that might not have been the reason why he messaged me. But ultimately, we traded him to get Nash. Nash is a guy I've been a very big fan of since he came in the league. Big 21 Pilots fan, so that was an instant thing. Very funny dude with the gifs and the memes, like that. During scouting, man, he was like a blast. He would play with us every night. We just vibed. Him, myself, and Wax. I'm like, we gotta get Nash. And then, of course, he goes 1 overall, so we don't get Nash. And ultimately, yeah, it was tough, man. Like, it's never easy trading someone like Crave Dog, who I just have a connection with. I love the dude. He's so much fun. We're in a football pool together. But when the opportunity came to get Nash, I hit up DBC. I'm like, dude, please don't load up like one of those upper teams. I'm like, I think you and I can make a change of scenery move that'll really, really help both teams. How do you feel about it? And he was in, man. Like, we're in 7th place, which is not bad for both teams. But I feel like with these trades, we can both climb our way up the standings. I think just the play style and how everyone vibes and stuff, it's going to be really good. And we've been playing with Nash every single night. He's all in on chem games. He starts in our lobbies, which we love. He's in the Discord trying to get games going. You got to crank his volume up to 200 though, because he sounds like he's broadcasting from inside of a toaster. But aside from that, man, it's all vibes. It's all laughs. He's fucking amazing. It's been a ton of fun. They were making LG NHL guys quit playing their first round of chem games of well, I won't give it away. I'm not going to give the line away because you know what? You'll see it when you see it. But yeah, no, a lot of fun. It's great. As far as sixes go, we went 1-1-1. My boy 1 for Rose, 2004 filled in. I think he had 2 goals, 2 assists. Yeah, there's nothing more panic driving and anxiety driving than having 2 of your guys quit when you have, not quit, change their status from in to out when you only have 7 available. So you're down to 4 or 5 and you got to start pulling ECUs. But Squad Lem showed up. He took it for the team, man, hooked us up. 1 for Rose came in game 1. He hooked it up. Big Daddy Doc made his way in for games 2 and 3. And we just had a lot of vibes, had a lot of fun. It was a great time. And that's pretty much around the league. The last thing I want to talk about is there was a suspension handed out. Someone called someone else a dickhead in the chat. They took the words that were being said at them as over the line. I don't know if it was meant that way. It very well could have been made that way, but ultimately they called him a dickhead. We don't do that in the chat. We suspended him for a week. He appealed. He actually apologized within like an hour of that whole thing happening. And those guys were like, hey, squash it. No big deal. Not a big problem. So we're just gonna wash this one. So comes off with a written warning. Next time it's an absolute suspension, but he knows better. And he knew right away that it was wrong. So he apologized. He took accountability. So the PA ultimately reversed his suspension. So good on the PA. We're still looking for members for it. Shaunahue's reaching out to people that might be interested. But that's our Around the Week. We don't have any unsung heroes this week, so we're just going to go right into our Mental Health Minute.
Mental Health Minute. Take a breath, hydrate. Maybe don't send that message yet.
All right, and Mental Health Minute is tough. I talked about it with the DM with Scuba. Like, the second I feel like people get disrespectful, because I always start with respect. I try and give back the energy that's given to me. And if I'm giving shitty energy back, I'm going to try and give you the shittiest energy back. I think that's pretty evident by anyone that's been a party to how things go with me. But like, the second I feel someone's just like being disrespectful, they're going to get it right back to them. So that's kind of what happened. I don't know if it's right or wrong. It's just what I do. And to give you an example of that, I have a friend that I umpire with. He made a controversial call. It was a close call. Could have went either way. He made a call to end the game, and the team that lost to us by 1 run, like, were in his face, pointing fingers, yelling at him, telling him he's bad and stuff. And I had enough, and I turned around and I grabbed this kid by the collar. I'm like, take your fucking loss like a fucking man. Leave him alone. He's not the reason you lost. You have other guys on your team that need to be accountable, starting with you. Blah, blah, blah. I just let this kid have it. And after it was over, like, kid walked by my buddy in the parking lot. He's like, I only Dots yelled at me. I wasn't talking to him. Because my nickname in baseball is Dots. And I just think that's the funniest thing. He was like walking around like a beaten dog because I yelled at him about yelling at an umpire. And yeah, just like the other part of that is like, when I am wrong, to come back and apologize, it's so fucking tough. Like the whole thing with Gweeds, I knew I was like coming in way too hot. I could have absolutely handled it better with Dan. I didn't. I ultimately sent him into a downward spiral where I kind of ruined his day. Felt bad about that. And oh god, is it so hard to initiate the apology? Like, that's my hardest thing, is like, I can't make that first move, and I don't know why. It's just the stubborn Irish in me. I don't know what it is, but it's something. Might play into the coworker that I have at work that aggravates the fuck out of me. But we're supposed to have a rally this week again, this coming Thursday. Another rally, another protest, not happening. I'm going to a concert, as I said earlier. So I'll just go another week without making amends with him because I kind of don't give a shit. Zero respect for him, so that's fine. We'll keep it that way. The other big thing too that's like tough with like mental health and stuff is how much I'm on my phone. Oh my friggin' God. I wake up, I check Discord. I get to work, I'm checking Discord. I'm on my lunch break checking Discord. I live on this thing. It's such a bad addiction. Like, thank God I never smoked. Thank God I never got into like, I don't know, oxys or anything like that. Cause like I have such an addictive personality, and as much as I try and get off Discord and my phone and stuff, it's so hard. And like, there's points in the night where like everything looks like it's black and white, and I feel like it's just my eyes like being like, yo, put the controller down, dude, or stop looking at your phone. Like, this blue light shit's killing me. But it's an addiction, not the healthiest addiction, but it's healthier than some of the other addictions. So we're gonna try and manage it. I'm trying to manage screen time, so if I'm not getting responsive to you guys and girls, that's why I'm focusing on not a lot of screen time, but we'll see if that even holds true. Because once my work week starts, man, I'm just buried in it because I'm like too efficient at work. But that's about that. So we're out of the mental health. We're out of the middle health minute. Blah 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 blah. We're gonna head on over to Ask the Commish. All right, and here we are for Ask the Commish, and the big question is, with the trade deadline coming this Friday, how do you handle trade requests and your thoughts on them? And that's such a great question. I don't know if we have the perfect plan for it. We have a thing that says you have to play 15 games for a team before you can request a trade, but that's always tough because what if someone just got, like this week, some blockbuster type trades, a lot of new faces, a lot of same faces in some new places. So there's a lot of shaking up and stuff. And like, hypothetically, I just traded for J-Men Fish. I just traded for Nash. If either one of them are like, I don't know, man, this might not be the place for me. You know, I feel they're within their rights to be like, hey man, this might not be it. I have one more shot to get on a team that I vibe with. Do you mind doing me a solid? Absolutely, I will. My thing is like, and this goes into the mental health thing too. I'm like, anyone I trade for, I'm usually like, hey man, welcome in. If things don't work out, I can trade you, like, no hard feelings. And I'm like, it's such a defeatist mentality. And I need to have like that dog mentality, like, yeah, dude, we traded for you. Who cares that we're in 7th place? We're about to go on a fucking ride. And I think that should be more the approach. And it's actually funny, like, Nash initially reached out and he was like, oh, hey man, yeah, this wasn't like the landing spot I thought I was gonna go to. I'm like, hey man, I apologize. I'm like, I really think you're gonna like it here. We really like, I've kind of highly coveted you since you came in the league. We were gonna take you in the first round. We ultimately traded in 11th overall for what turned out to be the number 1 overall. So we really think we can do some fun things here. So please just give us a chance. And again, if it doesn't work out, dude, no hard feelings. It's hockey. Who cares? And he played some chem games with some of the boys, man. Messaged me back. He's like, no, we got something special here. And I think we can do some things here. And that's awesome, man. Like, that's kind of on us as a team to just convince you with vibes and convince you with like the playing chem games. And that's one of the things that we struggled with, was getting chem games. So we now have like all 8 locked in. I really don't feel like making any more moves. If someone comes to me with an offer that blows me over and Wax signs off on it, we'll make it. But as far as I'm concerned, this is the team. And I'm really excited to see how that goes. Now, on the flip side, there is a wrong way to do things. Demanding a trade. Trade me to a contender. If you message your owner and say, trade me to a contender, I can almost without a shadow of a doubt tell you that 9 times out of 10, you are gonna find your way to a last place team or a team lower in the standings. It doesn't fly like that. So demanding going to a contender, you guys have to understand that, like, there's got to be a match there, dude. There's got to be a match there. And if there isn't a match there, like, you can't get upset with your owner. And, you know, be respectful, man. All these owners are volunteering their time. They're popping their stats in. They're coordinating games. They're worried about a V.V.H.L. Like, there's a lot going on. So then to be like, oh, hey, bro, I know you're trying your hardest as an owner, but our wins and losses aren't really there. So if you don't mind, in a matter of terms, I'd like you to go fuck yourself and send me to a team that's doing better than this team's doing. Like, that's so incredibly shitty on an owner. Like, it's such a bad feeling. If you're like, but then on the flip side, if you're like, hey, man, I know we're kind of struggling. I would love to see this team do well. I just feel like my place isn't here on it. I'm hoping that I could bring some value to the team. If there's any way you could, like, kind of help me out and help your team out, I'd be open to that. Obviously, I'm not going to force your hand so you're backed into a bad deal or something. But if there's anything you can do, I'd truly appreciate it. And 9 times out of 10, if you do it that way, your owner's going to take care of you. Listen, no one likes staying on a sinking ship. It sucks. It sucks. And if you get traded from a last place team to a first place team, and that person goes from a first place team to a last place team, like, they're looking at you at being the linchpin to their success. They're looking to you to be that leader. You just came from a team that knows how to win. You know what it takes. They're looking for that injection of energy, know-how, intellect, and morale boosting. And that's why those teams at the bottom of the standings are demanding players like that for their players. So try not to look at it as like a disservice to you if you end up on one of those teams in the lower standings. Look at that as a challenge and know that you're being brought in to be the guy. And you could theoretically carry a team on your entire back, show them the way, show them how to behave in a locker room of a team that wins, carry yourself like a winner. It's like in any league when you see like the pro take in a rookie or something like that and they live with them for a little bit, they kind of mentor them a little bit. If you're one of those like super skilled players that ends up on a bad team, like Mowski is a perfect example. He was living the high life, man. He got traded to a team that was struggling and stumbling around in the standings. He didn't bat an eye. He went there. He tried to help them out as best as he could. Never complain. And that's the model. We should be a lot more like Mowski. Say less and do more. I don't know. But that was Ask the Commish. We're going to take a quick pause. Back with the Mount Rushmore of redemption stories. Ooh.
4 faces, 0 agreement. The Mount Rushmore of the V.V.H.L.
4 phases and 0 agreements. It's time for me to say more words until we sign off. Yeah, redemption stories. Mount Rushmore of redemption stories. These are people who were like essentially banned for life in our minds. And ever since they come back, they've been friggin' amazing. First one I'll start off with is probably the oldest return out of the 4. Leroy Jenkins. He moved across the country. He's had a lot of life changes. He and this other guy in the server, man, just didn't vibe. They'd always nitpick at each other. They were in another server starting with each other. It carried over into here. It happened during a night of our finals. I muted the chat completely, and that sent this place into a frenzy. No one could GG's. No one could celebrate their wins. I woke up the morning. I heaved them both. Leroy starts sending me some stuff. I completely ignored it. He was gone for a long time. Took care of some personal stuff that he had to take care of. He's in a way better place. He's been back in the league. He's been quiet, friendly, assertive, helpful, a lot of fun to play with. It just exactly what you want when we bring you back in the league. Like, what a redemption story. Great dude. He's on the ECU free agent list. He shouldn't be. He should have been drafted. But it's good to see him still sticking around. doing his thing, and that's awesome. Another one that came back, Papa Palpatine. He he had a hiccup, so to speak. Got removed from the league, came back into the league, had yet another hiccup within like 10 days. It happens, man. We all struggle with mental health. He was going through some stuff. It was what it was, man. But ever since he's come back, dude, just pillar of the community, quiet, does his thing, always active, always trying to help people out, plays wherever needed to fill LFGs. So he's back on the right path, which is great. Followed by Seti. Set Kel's 18. Had a bit of a unceremonious exit. It actually tied into the Papa situation. He went so hard to defend Papa that he ended up talking his own way out of the league. To the point where we didn't think we'd be seeing him back here either. And again, took care of some stuff in his personal life. Came back here. Was apologetic. He did the full apology tour with all the people that he needed to have some awkward conversations with, man. And since Seti's been back, I actually had a chance to play with him last night, Saturday. We had a blast, man. Always a fun dude. Always super knowledgeable about the game. Always with his AI graphics and stuff. He gave me this big paragraph about the hold and right trigger when you're taking wrist shots. So like, always helpful, always fun to have around. It's good to see him kind of clean up and set the tone there. And then you look at Rain, dude, comes back. Again, I was the bridge that he had to cross. And much like I said earlier, man, I'm never going to be the one that makes that first move. It started with conversations with Dan. Hey, man, I'd really like to talk to you about Rain. I'm like, no fucking chance, man. Guy told me to tell me to go fuck myself forever. As far as I'm concerned, forever means forever, so I'm gonna continue to fuck myself forever. But, right time, right place, right mindset, all that stuff. In one foul swoop, I think I invited Rain back. I think I invited Leroy back. And I even recommended one other, I can't remember who it was, but to the admin team. And they were pretty shocked to have me be the one to recommend Rain come back. But honestly, man, like I was like, he's boys with all you guys. Just because him and I have problems, I'm not gonna hurt the league. I'm not gonna hurt you guys like having to be awkward. That's not fair. And so Rain came back. He was like, hey Mike, I'd really like to apologize to you. I took care of some stuff personally as well. And I was like, welcome back to the league, dude. That's all I said. I was like, I wasn't interested in a conversation. Then starting this podcast, I started to be interested in a conversation. And since then, we've had a great conversation. We've had fun playing together. He's been on the stream when he's not asking for ECUs. Dude, he's a great addition to the stream. Like him, Dan, and I were on I believe it was Tuesday night, and it was great. I think he's really good for it. So, yeah, that's the Mount Rushmore of redemption stories. Rain, Leroy Jenkins, Seti, and Papa Palpatine. Hey everyone, that was the Mount Rushmore of redemption stories. Good on those dudes for making their way back here, doing the apology tour, finding their way back in the good graces of the V.V.H.L. They've been exemplary citizens here since their big returns. So very proud of them for being men of their word, having the humility to come back and do things the right way and be good members here. It's always a good thing. That's what we want. That's all we want here. So we're adding a new wrinkle. We teased it in the earlier part of the show. I am doing an interview section here. Every now and again, it's not going to be a big thing. It's just going to be if there's something of interest or worthy of like a town hall type thing, we're going to do it. We're going to have a post-mortem for the trade deadline show. We're probably going to riff with Sean and Dan or something like that. But this week, we talked to an owner who has been an owner in the VV6L, been an owner in V.V.H.L. He's made some bold trade moves in the past. He's made some bold trade moves this season already. He ultimately won the draft lottery and had the #1 overall pick. And this week he actually traded that #1 overall pick. So we kind of picked DBC's brain a little bit. DBC 11, of course, of the Knights. Naptown Nightmare of the original V.V.H.L season. And we just got an in-depth look as far as like his thought process, what goes through your mind when you are trading a player of the caliber of Nash and the number 1 overall pick, what he thought of his team in the standings, what he's looking for with the future and everything. So please take a few minutes, listen into my conversation with DBC, and we'll check in after that's all over.
Now stepping inside the game, exclusive interviews you won't hear anywhere else. Between the whistles.
All right, we are here for the interview section of Between the Whistles. With the trade deadline looming, I got my main man here. I figured nobody better to interview as far as the ownership goes than with a guy who's been in this league for a real long time. I consider him a good buddy of mine. We actually happen to make what could have eventually been a 2-for-2 blockbuster, but we made 2 deals separate from each other. We both sent players to each other's teams ahead of the trade deadline. It's grizzled veteran, jack of all trades, DBC11. DBC, what's going on, brother? How are you feeling tonight?
I'm good. Just here sipping a little bourbon and getting ready to play some fours with my buddy Section.
Hell yeah, buddy. So first and foremost, let's talk about our seasons. Coffin Floppers, which I own with Wax. The Knights, which you own with Section 8. We're both currently in 7th place. We both are in a playoff spot. But, you know, I think both of us would be liars if we said we were where we wanted to be. I think we want to be a little higher in the standings. And, you know, for myself, I am usually a rather impatient owner and make a lot of moves really quickly. Just tell everyone yourself, like, what is usually like your game plan when you go into a season? Are you like, draft night, this is our team, this is how we want to be? Or are you like, this is a great starting point and we're gonna alter things as we go? Like, what's your typical mindset post-draft?
So I think this is my 3rd season being an owner, and going in first season, I traded a lot of people away very quickly. But after last season, you kind of learn as you go, season after season. So I like to bring in on draft night. I get my my first round pick, and I bring them in and I go, hey, who'd you like to play with? Who's who do you have chemistry with? Because I know Section, I will fully admit, we're not first rounders. We're borderline first liners. So we always get the input from our first round pick to see, all right, who would you like to play with? And then we kind of go from there. And once it gets to the later rounds, we look at, all right, who do we have chemistry with? So like a good example is Tunic. I love Tunic. He's been on the team the full season. I've had trade offers for him, and I'm like, no, I like Tunic. I want to keep him here, and he's done a great job. But
Tunic's a dog, bro.
Yeah, mostly like on draft night, it's all right. I bring him in and I talk to the first round pick and I go, all right, who do you know? Because I don't necessarily play with those high level guys a ton. And so I usually talk to those players that I draft. Like Big K was last year. Big K and Henny, they were talking OV and I through it. And then this year it was Nash who gave some great picks with Zen and Dex that we were able to snag them and had a great team going there.
No, that's great. It's all good points. I mean, Jesse made sure that that's like kind of a good known process, as you know, he had day with the first overall pick last year and brought a lot of people in that he's comfortable with and he knows can gel with each other. So it's definitely a great strategy. To shift things a little bit here,
So like I said, we both made a trades, 2 separate trades with each other just this week. And they both, involved first overall picks and former first overall picks, with me sending Crave Dog over to you for Nash in return. And then on top of that, you also had J-Man Fish coming to us in exchange for Scuba Gaming. So those are 4 high caliber talents. Obviously, I said it, we're both in 7th place out of 8 teams that are currently in the playoff standings. So it just feels like a kind of change of scenery trade. And walk us through that, because it's never easy. Like, I was up pretty late the night that we traded Crave Dog, because it's not an easy decision. He's a guy I vibe with. We're both local to the same area. We like the same sports teams. We're in a football gambling thing together. So like, it was never easy to trade him, and it took a lot of like kind of talking myself through it. How was that for you? I mean, a number 1 overall pick, is never easy. Request a trade, not request a trade. Like, that's a very tough move to make. How difficult was it for you to come to terms with making a move like that? How hard was it to try and find as close to equal value to what you perceive he was? And ultimately, what are you looking forward to thinking with Scuba and Crave Dog coming over to the Knights?
Yeah, I mean, that's fantastic question, because there's a lot of dynamics that went into that. I want to give props to Nash, because he stuck around. Like, we had a couple dudes request trades, we had a couple chemistry issues, and Nash said from day one he's gonna play it out as much as we asked him to, and he did that, and I'll give him props on that. But going into it, when we traded away a couple players, that it's been really about the chemistry of the team and how different players play, and players that have played together. I got, as you could probably imagine, everyone wanted Nash on the trade, and so I told everyone, and I think I posted in the trade block, I go, don't send me silly trades or something along those lines.
yeah, you're like, please, whatever you do, don't waste my time. It's the old adage of the I know what I have, like Facebook Marketplace, like sales things. It's like, listen, guys, I know what Nash is, you know what Nash is, so if you're gonna come at me, come proper with some sort of an offer, right?
Right. And when it came down to it, the biggest thing for, I think, Section and I was people we played with. Like, there's other players out there that I played against that I'm like, okay, yeah, they're pretty good, but they're either rookies that I just have no idea what they're gonna do, how they're gonna react if they're traded. I mean, there's a lot of good players in this league. There's a lot of there's a couple egos that come into things that I'm like, all right, if this person gets traded to me, are they actually going to stick around, or are they going to be like, nah, I'm good, and they just don't care? So that's where I'm like, all right, I wanted to get someone like Crave, that he's a vet of the league. He's been an owner in the league, that I know how he plays. I know how I can surround him with talent to be successful, and we'll go from there. And like I said, Nash did a great job with the team. It just wasn't working out in the long term. And so I tried to find him the best team where he could excel and carry you guys into the playoffs as well. And then with Fish, we brought him in for a week, and it was just, he didn't mesh with the line there. And I was looking for Scuba, because I know Scuba, I know he's a solid center, and not saying Fish wasn't, but his play style was a little different than what we were looking for. And I mean, I like Fish. He was a great player. So
yeah, no, it hurt to lose both those guys for sure. For myself, I've highly coveted Nash since he came in the league. I feel like we just vibe so much. I talked about it earlier in this podcast, actually. So I was willing to kind of sell the farm to have a shot at playing with him for just one season. And I'm appreciative that you did work with me, because there were a lot of top teams that came screaming down our doors and knocking down our doors as soon as we started discussing names like that. And we said we want to help the guys that are in the playoffs that can really move up in the standings. And I think just like a quick vibe check for your team is going to be the way to do it. Like, I again, aforementioned earlier, Nash is vibing with Wax and Picks and Ribeye. So like, he's having fun right now. So hopefully it works out for everyone, man. Cause that's the goal of these trades. And, I thank you for being a part of it. And, we're going to wrap this thing up here.
Absolutely.
This is supposed to be a 5-minute thing. I think we're on minute 12 here, but any parting words?
That's all good.
Any parting words for anyone out there that's listening ahead of the draft? Your thoughts of what's going to happen and just, and any parting words here?
Owning is a lot harder than anyone can ever imagine. And if you want to give it a shot, please try it and then reflect on it, because it wears on you, but it's fun. It is fun doing it, but definitely puts things into perspective, especially trade wise. Some of the trade stuff that you go back and forth with people on, it kind of wears down on you, and you're like, gosh, let's get something done.
It does, dude. It definitely hits your mental health for sure. So all right, well, DBC, thank you so much for taking the time, man. Looking forward to Friday. Looking forward to seeing you this week on the ice. Looking forward to draft lobbies. And, man, take it easy. Have a great night. Have a great week.
Absolutely. Appreciate you.
All right, thanks, brother. We'll see you.
Yeah, what a good interview. Just the insight that's provided from an owner who's been doing it for a while. He's not where he wants to be in the standings. He's trying different things with the trade deadline. And just to hear the whole scope of the mindset of everything was really cool. I really enjoyed talking with DBC. And hopefully we can do stuff like that kind of down the line. I just don't want to interfere with what Jesse's got cooking. But yeah, it was a fun little thing, and we're gonna end up doing a round table with the founders. We'll get that founder rounder going. We got one in the can, but we're kind of perfectionists, so we might just scrap it and do it all over again. We'll see how it goes. But for now, you got DBC11 running us through his mindset, what he's thinking, and all that stuff. So I hope you enjoyed that. Please don't forget to write in. Let me know if there's something that you want to hear. If you want me to interview someone about a specific topic that doesn't interfere with Jesse's stuff, let me know. I loved it. It was fun. I now know how to do it thanks to Backblast Dan. So it's a new little wrinkle to the pod. We'll throw out there every now and again. It's not going to be an every week thing, but we figured with the trade deadline looming, why not? And like I said before, it's going to be a fun week. Last week was a lot better than the week before. We're back on the upward trajectory. Everything's going smooth here in the V.V.H.L. Trade deadline's going to be insane on Friday night. Hope to see you all there. Don't forget to like, subscribe, rate, share with your team, share with your buddies, everything about this podcast. Can't thank you all enough. And more importantly, we have a lot of fun here and stuff like that, but Backlash stands off to get like a pretty important procedure done this week. So let's all make sure we wish him a speedy recovery and hope to see him on the ice soon. This is going to be great once he comes out of that all healed up, and he'll be for the best. But until then, let's shoot him some well wishes. And looking forward to seeing you all on a special edition of Livewire this Friday night. Diesel out.
Oh my God.